Hello, hi, and welcome to the Terminal Podcast, where in the end it's all about the numbers. I'm your host, Martin Kester, and oh, hold on. I thought I was going with only me as the alone person here, but I actually have one flight. Unfortunately, you're coming in right into the middle of it, but by the middle I mean I just started because I just started. So
Okay.
I'll start over, which is as simple as hello, hi, and welcome to Terminal Podcast, where in the end it's all about the numbers. I'm your host, and we have one flight that's landed safely in here. We might have others, who knows? But as of right now, we have the one. Uh, Faces and names are on the screen, as you can see, but who we're actually going to be listening to, I was going to get you introduced with the name and where you're flying in from. And the question tonight is your favorite fictional black hero. Now, you've had no prep time, so whether it's Chadwick Boseman or as the Black Panther or Wesley Snipes as Blade, there's a short list. So I'm curious to see what you come up with on absolute short notice. So where you calling from and who's your favorite black hero? I'm giving you a little time to think about it now. So go ahead, take a second or two. But this is the Terminal Podcast, and this is the bracket edition, which we'll get to in a moment. But so,
Hi, everyone. I am Mark. I'm flying in from the Boston area, and my favorite black fictional character. It can be just
sure, yeah, that's fine. I mean,
geez.
because the lighting's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, you actually. It's like not dark in your normal background.
Interesting. No,
But I
daylight
could.
savings time.
Um, I don't know. That's a tough spot. Tough question on the
On the
on the
spot.
spot. I'm not having to think about it or research it, but one.
I didn't say it was gonna be easy.
Uh, how about I was gonna say what maybe say Axel Foley. Then I was like Prince Akeem,
Well,
um, Ernie Hudson.
see, now you're just going fictional characters. See,
In
the
the
superhero thing.
Ghostbusters. I'm looking at him. I'm thinking like like older. I think you're on something where you could say King T'Challa is kind of it. It's too easy.
It's
Too
because they I can't even pronounce his name correctly. So Black Panther is the easy one.
yeah
Blade's a sort of, if you want to go old school
yeah.
about it. I was sitting there when I was saying, you know what? Honestly, my favorite black superhero is Pootie Tang because Pootie Tang was able to do a lot of things and just Sarate and a whole bunch of other silliness. And Afro Samurai. I mean, there's a couple of. It's like you could have. It wasn't an easy question. I was prefaced. I heard somebody say it heard on a different podcast the same way as I transition. I love March Madness, but listening to another podcast as I was the Tony Kornheiser podcast, both Michael Wilbon and Washington Post sports columnist Barry Saluga have said the same thing I've said. I've watched the least amount of college basketball at all this year, and we're doing this, and I was going to say the actual time. The number today is 20 minutes to try and get out as we're in halftime of one of the playing games because
Yeah.
the tournament's going on right now. So I'm barely watching this game. I'm,
I have it on in the background.
No idea if anybody from the
I,
Pac-12 or the ACC or
I,
the Big
if,
12 or the Big 12. And I have no idea who's good, who's bad, who's got what, who's got nothing. So I said, why not have some fun? I was going to let the audience decide my picks as I make my selections at this moment on my phone as we're talking to make my
okay.
to make my brackets. I have no idea, so why not? So
Okay.
that's why I said I got a shot clock to get out before the second half starts of this game. So we'll start in the first round in the West bracket. This is the easiest one, but it's the closest one to home. It's Gonzaga and they're playing Georgia State. That's literally up the street. I drive past that and go past that every day.
Where are they? Where are they?
Oh,
Where? But that's the
Georgia
where are they
State's
playing?
downtown Atlanta. Their gym, I literally walked past their gym like last night. I drove past it today. It's like it's right there. It's literally right in downtown, and they're gonna get ran out of the building, and it's so sad. But they're a 16 seed, so come on. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's what was gonna happen. So Boise State, Memphis. Boise State's a football school that 1AA. Are they now 1A? Are they 1A football school now?
They might be. They have the blue field, right?
That's what I thought. But that's
Yeah.
what basketball, sure. Memphis has got Penny Hardaway, and isn't Penny Hardaway there?
Yeah, he's a coach.
So I'm going with Memphis because I know
Memphis.
Penny Hardaway. I like Penny. UConn, I guess, is that New Mexico State?
Yeah.
Is the 512?
Yep.
Anything? Can you help me?
No, I mean I think UConn has some possible NBA caliber players. I think New Mexico. I think their defense is pretty good. But I took Connecticut.
Well, I'll take Connecticut because I've not been to New Mexico yet, and I do want to go there at some point in my life. That's one of the states that's on the list. It's like I've knocked off states like not New Mexico, like North Dakota and South Dakota and Montana that no one's going to, unless you're really trying to hit every state. But I'm not hitting New Mexico, but I'm not hitting them here either. So I'm going to hit Connecticut because I've gotten them. Arkansas, Vermont. I was going to take Vermont because I've gotten drunk at the University of Vermont. I want to say with you, probably. I was going to say we drifted up there at some point, or was that Maine? Either one of those. BU, I drove up to Vermont, Maine, and no.
I don't know if
were you out of the car with us at the time?
No, I don't know if we. I've been to like when I was in college. I remember going to UNH. I don't remember.
See, and that's.
I've been to. I mean, I've been
all of that. You said UNH. It was UNH, and I realized that's all one thing to me. It's just Maine,
Vermont, Maine, and UNH are all one just big state with mountains and trees and
pretty much. I mean,
and drunk white people.
Pretty much. So I've been to Arkansas. I've seen their gym, but that's a 4-5. That's no upsets there. I really do want to take Vermont here and have them lose to UConn in the next round. I'm going to do that. So I'm taking Vermont.
You can do that.
I've drank it.
The Catamounts are a pretty good team, I think.
Yeah. So Bama versus the winner of the game that's going to be after the halftime game of this one. So I got to take Rutgers and Notre Dame. But it's funny because I'm like, this is the New Jersey game because when I grew up in New Jersey. Half of my graduating class went to Rutgers. You know what I mean? Like that was the school that everybody went to.
Right.
Notre Dame was the school that we got fed. Like living in New Jersey, apparently you were supposed to root for Notre Dame or for some reason. I don't know why, but we got a lot of Notre Dame. I guess the nation got Notre Dame. I didn't recognize that. But either way, I don't like either one of those schools. So take
Bama.
So yeah, all right, I'll take Bama. But Bama's a football school. It's like, yeah, no. So what are we? Texas Tech, Montana State.
I go Tech.
I'm going with Texas Tech because I've been through Montana.
I said I think they're a pretty good defensive team. So
I'll say this, and it ends up being chalk, but I want to see Michigan State versus Duke in the next round because I want to see Izzo versus
a lot of people do. I didn't take Michigan State.
Like I said, I'm doing this for the game that I want to see.
Right, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that game, and Duke will win that game. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not big on Bama. You know what?
I used to have like.
Go ahead.
I used to have several rules when filling out a bracket. Some of them don't apply anymore because one of them used to be Gonzaga is frauds. They play well in their conference. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, Gonzaga, look at Gonzaga, and then they get to the tournament and then they play like a team from a major conference and they lose. that hasn't been the case in recent years. So that rule is kind of out the window. My other rule used to be never count on the Big Ten to do anything in the tournament unless it's Tom Izzo's team. So because like they'll come out of nowhere and he'll probably make a run to like the Elite Eight in this tournament for no reason whatsoever, just because. And look at teams that are hot, that all that like the same cliches, but I didn't pick Michigan State, but I think a lot of people want to see the Michigan do it for the chalk.
I'm doing it. It's chalk. I'm sorry. I picked ahead just so I could, like I said, I got a shot clock trying to get up before the end of halftime.
All right.
No, but
sorry to I don't mean to hold you up. But just
Michigan State versus Wisconsin. So that's Michigan State beating Davidson and Duke beating Cal State Fullerton. So you end up with Michigan State and Duke in that 2-7 matchup, and Duke wins it, so that you get so PTI and ESPN and for the next week, for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, will give you more Mike Krzyzewski than you've ever seen and heard in your life, and then they're going to get slammed by Bama in that next game, which is
wherever,
because those kids, I feel so sorry for those kids because they couldn't have signed on for this. I mean, think about that. You're going to Duke, you're going to play for Coach K. I'm already this super great player. I'm not expecting him to leave and retire, and now I've got all this other pressure, and I'm only 18. Yeah, no. So yeah, I got Duke beating Michigan State, Bama upsetting Texas Tech, so that they can upset Duke and go to the final 8, and everybody talk about how great the SEC is, and then Gonzaga will beat UConn and then beat Bama and move on to the Final 4. So I've got number 1 overall going on from the West bracket.
So I heard one of the podcasts that I listened to.
Mm-hmm.
They said that Gonzaga is the next Duke.
It's possible. I mean, I didn't know about Duke as a school at all. Until I was told it was this really good academic school. You can tell me Gonzaga is a really good academic school. I wouldn't know. I was going to say, exactly. Who knows? It's like, if I tell you Boston University is a good academic school, it sounds like a good academic school. It's in Boston. There's other academic schools there. It's better than BC, but that's not saying much. But, this technical college is better than BC, but that's not saying anything at all. All right. So the East bracket is the Baylor and Norfolk State is the 116. So Baylor moves on there. Yeah. North Carolina, Marquette. I saw North Carolina. Well, I didn't see them, but North Carolina, that's the team that beat Duke is whole Coach K. But let's all, so I like the team.
I picked North Carolina just because I think that they've been playing well recently, and I saw that game, caught the end of that game where they beat Duke. But who's the coach for Marquette? Used to coach, I think, at Texas and VCU.
Is that Shaka Smart's team?
No, everybody's like, oh, don't sleep on him.
But Shaka had Texas and he couldn't do anything there. And that goes back to when I was actually watching college basketball, which was like a decade ago. So either way. All right. I'm moving past there. St. Mary's, IU. I'd like to not pick them. I'm going to go St. Mary's just because I think everybody's picking.
Is that Indiana?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a 12-5. That's the one 12-5. I picked the 12.
Okay.
But I mean, again,
man,
my picks don't mean. Sure. I mean, I don't know shit either. My picks don't mean anything.
So I'm looking up to see because I don't know if you can see my background or not if the game has started. But
no, I have the game on in front of me. I can tell you when it starts. It's still halftime. They're still talking.
Well, all right. So UCLA, Akron. I'm going to go UCLA. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like UCLA, Indiana. I like that as a better matchup. But you know what? I like UCLA, St. Mary's. That's a better sounding matchup than the other one. Texas and Virginia Tech. Everybody's big on Virginia Tech because they won the ACC tournament.
They're hot. That they're one of those teams that are like, look out for them. They're hot in the tournament, and then they'll probably lose that game. Even though I hear Texas isn't like they're not great. They're but
they're not good either.
I don't know. I said just stuff like I said. I listened to
blow up. I wanted this to be the one bracket that gets completely blown up, like Texas beats Virginia Tech that everybody was all big on. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. It was going to give me.
Are you like in a? Are you in like a challenge with like other people, or you're just filling out a bracket for you?
I'm filling out a bracket, and then I'll probably use this bracket in other challenges and challenges. Yeah. Like the Kornheiser one. That's about the only one I think I'm going to do. But no, Purdue, Yale. I want the Yaleys to win a game.
Pick Yale.
Because I don't think Purdue. I don't think the Big Ten's any. I think the Big Ten is back to is what the SEC was a couple years back when everybody thought they were good at basketball, but they really weren't any good because they were just big schools. I don't think the Big Ten's good at basketball.
Well, that was I said. Where did I don't know where it came from, but it's many years old that I said don't count on the Big Ten to do well in the tournament, except for Tom. And that came from somewhere, because it's the Big Ten, and then they crap out. That theory is going to come from somewhere. I mean, it could still be, it could still be relevant now, but there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of Big Ten, like you said. Indiana's in Indiana. They're not, Michigan. I think Michigan's in here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually get to them, but
okay. Keep going.
I think so. I think this is Murray State in San Francisco as the 7th.
Yeah, that's a 2 mid-majors. That's a Murray State. I think is the if you're gonna go by the popular choice, I think Murray's.
I'm gonna go with San Francisco because I've been there and it's a really nice city. And 3Com or whatever they're calling Pac Bell Park now. It's a beautiful baseball stadium.
Yeah,
so clearly I'm gonna take the basketball team.
That's Bill Russell's.
To do with that. So
that's Bill Russell's alma mater too. He took him to. He wanted.
He
took him. He took him to. He took him to. They won an NCAA title when he was.
Yeah, he won with them. So yeah, it can happen. I mean, it's not gonna happen this year. So Kentucky is going to win because they're Kentucky. So then it's the Baylor UNC. I'm back. I'm going to the East now. Baylor UNC. Yeah. And I'm going to take UNC because I'm blowing this whole bracket.
I like it.
St. Mary's UCLA. I'm going to go with UCLA because that get a UNC UCLA game.
Yep.
Texas Yale. Then I'm going to go Texas and UK. So then it sounds like it's chalk because it's UNC and UCLA and Texas and UK. So there you go. And then UNC, UCLA, I'll go UCLA. And then Texas, Connecticut, Kentucky, or Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky. Those cats. Kentucky. And then UCLA, Kentucky. I'll go Kentucky.
I don't think either pick is bad. But yeah, I also have Kentucky in the Final Four. I have Kentucky win. Spoiler: I have Kentucky actually winning the whole thing.
Oh well,
but
I'm not there yet.
This isn't my bracket.
I'm building up to my Final Four.
This isn't about my bracket. This is about your bracket that you're filling out right now.
Well, I don't think any. I think the other 16, the 2 16s are playing right now. I don't think they're going to wake up and then turn around and go out and beat Arizona.
No, the only thing is that Bryant has the nation's leading scorer. Believe it or not.
Well, it makes sense. He plays in the mid-major where,
Yeah. His last name's Kiss. I don't know how he's I thought they would win this game. In their conference tournament final, they won by like over 30 points, and he had like 35 points. So I was like, this will be a good game. No, it's a pretty competitive game so far. I just don't think he's not like, I'm the best player on the floor, I'm gonna score a bunch of points. I haven't seen that so far yet. But anyway, they're not going to beat Arizona. That's just whoever wins this game is not beating Arizona. So sorry, keep going.
Seton Hall, TCU. I'm going to go TCU because I've never liked Seton Hall. I mean, as a person who grew up in New Jersey, I have a bias against Jersey colleges for some reason. It's like I respect the heck out of Princeton and knew I was never getting in. Would never go to Rutgers, never liked Seton Hall, and then what other school is there? There you go. So exactly. I'm happy with my school. Houston, UAB. I like Houston because I feel like Houston's got a lineage from back in like the 70s when they used to run up and down. Back when you could just pay these kids straight cash. You know, when the boosters would just give you people money. Houston used to do that great, and they probably gotten back to doing it again. So I'm going for Houston. You got Illinois, Chattanooga.
They didn't call it. Was it Phi Slamma Jamma? They didn't call it that.
Exactly. Yeah, like with Drexler and those guys. Yeah.
And Akeem. Yeah.
Oh, the money that was flowing back then. Oh my God. Illinois, Chattanooga. I'm gonna go Illinois. I think that's Colorado State and Michigan. Yeah, here's this 6-11. Here's Michigan. I don't know why I paused. I guess I'm gonna take Michigan because you know what? I'm gonna take Colorado State because I'm not really. Yeah, I'm gonna take Michigan. Ooh, Michigan. And I heard Greg Garcia on the Kornheiser podcast take Longwood. This 14 seed Longwood versus Tennessee in this next matchup here, all the way to the finals, and had them lose to Baylor, just on a whim. But I'm having them knock out right now. Lose to Tennessee.
One of the other kind of argument, again, the side stories is that Tennessee should be possibly in Duke's 2 seed. They're better than they should be a 2 seed because they won the SEC tournament and they're playing really good. So that's kind of like, people are like, why are they a 3 seed? And then like 10 minutes later, they're over it. And it's like, okay, but that was one of the arguments, like they should have been in like Duke's 2 seed.
Okay. Ohio State and Loyola Chicago. If I'm down on Big Ten schools, I'll take Loyola Chicago.
You just took Michigan.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I did take Michigan because I wanted to see Michigan Tennessee because that's a better football game.
All right, I understand.
But the Ohio State portion of the football thing, I'd rather see Loyola Chicago, and I'll take Nova because Jay Wright has really good suits. He looks really good on those sidelines.
He is really dapper on this. He's been rocking it. He's been rocking it for years. That guy.
Years.
Nice head of hair.
Still look good with that. Yeah. Great. He looks good in the suit, so he looks good in the sidelines.
Hey, whatever excuse you need to make to
exactly. Arizona versus TCU. I'm going to go with Arizona. Houston and Illinois. I'm still on Houston. Michigan, Tennessee. I'm going to go Tennessee. See? Instinctively want to say Michigan, Tennessee, and then Nova. So this is my chalk bracket.
Yeah.
Because it's Zona versus Houston, which is a 1-5 matchup.
Any of those, who is it's Tennessee, Arizona, Nova, and who else?
And Houston, 1-5.
Yeah, I mean, I think any of those teams could possibly go to that's a pretty big loaded. Any of those teams, I think, could go to the Final Four.
Well, good matchups. I don't even know. It's like I you know what? Houston did win the whatever. I'm taking Houston to beat Arizona, and I'll take Tennessee. No, you know what? I'm taking Nova to beat Tennessee. So now I'll end up with Houston and Nova, and I'm going to take Nova because I do like the suits.
Not a bad pick.
So we're almost back, aren't we? We're close.
Yeah, the 3 announcers are chatting.
All right. So Kansas, Texas Southern. I'm taking Kansas. Creighton. I'm taking Creighton over San Diego State. I've never been to San Diego. I've been to San Francisco. I've been to Los Angeles and Hollywood. Never been to San Diego. Driven through, going to Tijuana, but that doesn't count. Richmond, Iowa. Everyone seems to be big on Iowa. I don't like Iowa.
Because they're just a little bit. They look just because they're hot. They're the one. They're like the underdog hot team that everybody is like, oh, don't sleep on Iowa.
They didn't win their tournament.
I don't think they did. I think they were hot. Like I think going in, they were playing hot. Well. Yeah. They can score too. I think they can put points on the board.
Well, I'm going to go Richmond and South Dakota State and have a 12-13.
Jackrabbit to the second.
Teams are
Jackrabbit to the second.
Oh,
the second. They're number 2 in offense in the country after Gonzaga. They can score.
So I'm looking.
Providence might be frauds. Just to tell them now.
LSU versus Iowa State. You know what? If I've got all these other upsets, I kind of Yeah, might as well. See, I feel like I started looking at all the other upsets that I'm like, well, then I don't think that's going to also happen, but it could. So who knows? You know what? I'm going to go Iowa State and Wisconsin, so that they'll be who I don't even know, is that Gate? Who knows? It's the 14 seed, and they're going to lose to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
USC, Miami. I'm going USC, and Auburn is a 2 over a 15. So that goes Kansas over Creighton, Richmond, South Dakota State. You know what? I'm going to go South Dakota State and get me a 13 into the Elite Eight. And we've started, so I'm running behind. Wisconsin versus Iowa State. I'll take Wisconsin. USC, Auburn. I'm going to take USC. And I'll give me Kansas versus USC in the Midwest final, and I'm taking Kansas. So my final four is Gonzaga, Kentucky, Villanova, and Kansas. So
Not
it's
bad.
a tough final four, but
Yep.
it's crazy getting there.
Some
And,
stupid teams get like like LSU is gonna this
something like that.
some like random team that matchups you don't want to see. Like those are that's a Final Four. Some good matchups that you'd want to watch.
And I will. You know what? I want to think. I'm going to go Kentucky versus Kansas in the final, because I think this is the year, and I said this to somebody before, I think this is the year that Bill Self finally gets.
You texted me that the other. You texted me that
the other day.
Yeah.
I said it to you. So if I said it to you, then it must be true. I'm going to go. They're going to win 69, 68. Because I got to put in a score here for some reason. 68-66. How about that?
So if you care, I have Gonzaga. I have the same Final Four, except I have Tennessee coming out of that.
In Final Four?
In the Final Four, I have Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee, Kansas.
So you have the same Final Four that I just.
No, I have Gonzaga. I have Gonzaga, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Kansas, and I have Kentucky beating Kansas in the final.
Wait, I want to.
So
I'm upset with that.
Nothing exciting.
Bracket, but go ahead. No. Huh. All right. So between me being able to mess up on my phone and me messing the time, we're all done. So any last words, or you said your bracket. So you said you say it again. You had who you said it, and I'm gonna ask you to repeat it.
Okay. I have Gonzaga, Kentucky. And on the other side, I have Kansas and Tennessee. And I have Kentucky beating Kansas in the finals.
So we've got the same final.
Yeah. Do you have Kentucky winning? Or did you just
I got Kentucky winning.
Yeah.
I feel like Bill Self, this is the ultimate. This is the one championship he's going to get. He's going to get one. He gets one, and he gets it over Kentucky. And they're going to be the team that beat the overall number one team. So it's not like they beat, he beat just an average Kentucky. He beat a good Kentucky team. So it's the one chip, and it's the one that he holds on to.
Yep. Supposedly they were amped to probably win in 2020, and then COVID came and canceled everything. So
it's what it is. It's not what's canceling this podcast, but it's going to end this.
I have no other final thoughts, and I'll get back to you on your first question. My favorite, not superhero. I'm just like fictional character. Is that right? Was that what the question?
It was from a podcast, and they did a black superhero draft. Actually, is what they did, and they went snake form. So you kind of you had to come up with like 3 and 4 people. So Storm, and there were other options, but Storm was the one, and in terms of what Storm you were picking, and
Storm,
stuff like that.
Falcon.
Yeah, there are people.
Yeah, Well,
but all right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for everybody.
Sure.
This has been fun. We'll post this bracket on the same site that you can see under my name, which is martintessler.com. And wish me luck.
Good luck,
Mark. Have a good evening.
All right, you too, man.
Bye.